Well, it's the final straight, the home straight. Thank you so much for following me all the way through to the end of this little series of videos talking you through the strategy document. Hopefully you've got some real value here and you kind of have a good understanding now of what is involved in the video strategy when you come and do some work with us. This really does set you up for success in terms of your video marketing and making sure that anything you invest really does actually make a difference in your business and make the lives of you and your staff and the people within your business easier as well. So we're going to have a look at optimization, metrics and production in this next video. So having a look at optimization, you can see we've got here, this is just a rundown of each platform and how those videos should each be optimized. And I'm not going to go through all of this in huge detail because it is just a sort of read through and understand type thing. But like I said in the previous videos, it is super important to actually optimize your videos properly so that you're getting the best possible reach. The algorithms on each platform, so for YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, those algorithms are actually treating your videos with the respect they deserve because they're formatted correctly and they're going to be served to more people versus just shoving your video up as it's delivered without really thinking about it. That's going to get far less reach, far fewer views and things like that. So really making sure that everything's optimized really well. And there are lots of things you need to do in order to optimize your videos correctly. And actually what I've done is I've taken this part of the document and taken it out as a little download for you. So if you want to, you can have this as a way to reference it if you are creating your own video content within your business as well. So if you like, at the end of the video, just down below, either in the comments or on the website, you can click on the link and download that document and have that to hand so that when you are creating your own videos, you can look at this and find out exactly how you should be formatting each video for each platform. And again, metrics, this is a rundown. So what we do is we take each video and we work with our client to decide what the best metrics for success are. And then we sort of talk about, depending on what goal it's in, etc. We set some actual kind of achievable figures which will show us whether it's been a success. For this to work, we also need to gather some information that existed prior to working with us and releasing these videos. So for example, the amount of people going onto a particular product page, for example, if we're trying to sell a particular experience. So for example, if these guys wanted to sell more start windsurf courses, for example, we'd see, right, okay, well, how many people are clicking through to this website and that particular page and see, how much we've improved that and give ourselves a target. Then, if it's a conversion video, looking at, well, where does this video sit? What are the conversions like at the moment? What's the percentage of conversions versus landing page visitors? And see if we can increase that, for example. So there's some information there about kind of guidelines and things like that. And then you've got some other metrics here as well. So for sort of social media sort of stuff, social engagement, how many people are actually watching your videos through? Are you actually engaging people? These are good metrics because it means that we can assess whether the video is actually, capturing people's imagination, making people stay, keeping them interested. Things like that. Again, this is a really useful kind of reference guide for your metrics. And when we do the full document, we will also supply an Excel spreadsheet which has got your metrics and things in it, which we'll work on together as part of the strategy workshop. This is an example of kind of what the Excel might look like. So you got your platform metric, YouTube, social views, etc. What you're currently at, what your goal is, and then throughout the year we're tracking that and helping you manage that and working out whether or not actually you're hitting your goals, basically. And then if necessary, we can make changes, update the content, etc. If that's necessary. So it's a really great way of just tracking to see if everything's working. And then finally, thinking about production and sort of how it actually works. first of all, you don't necessarily have to get every single piece of content done to a highly professional standard. What we often find is that the sort of social engagement and brand awareness type video content, that's the stuff that really needs to be kind of the polished content. You invest more, but you make fewer videos of that. And then as you get further through the customer journey towards conversion and delight, you can afford a bit more do-it-yourself stuff. Some of the behind the scenes things of do-it-yourself feel is actually, it's real, it feels more real, it feels more relatable, it feels, less polished. So it can be good for that. So a mixture of like professional content, production company and do-it-yourself stuff is kind of a sweet spot. If you do stuff yourself, you need to make sure that it is of a high enough quality that it doesn't damage the reputation of your brand and actually makes your, shows the quality of what you offer. If you offer amazing experiences, people are going to expect the content you create to also look amazing. So make sure you get some training to make sure that is, as good as it can be with the skills you've got. So a combination is great. You can do it all yourself, or you can outsource. It entirely depends on what your budget is. And I would urge that it's a really good idea to spend some time and actually think about, well, how much money should I invest? Can I invest in this to make sure it's a success? Because a lot of the time people might hear a number like £15,000 throughout the year, for example, and go, wow, that's a lot of money. But actually, when you sit down and really think about what it can do for your business and how much impact it can have on your brand awareness, your conversions, how many people are actually buying from you, and when you think about, well, how many courses do I need to sell, how many placements do I need on a particular experience in order to get that money back throughout 12 months, often you find that you can actually achieve that. The other thing to note is that with professionally created content, this stuff lasts for years. It's not like you create a video, you spend some money on, you spend some money on a video and then you have to redo it all the time. Some of the content we've created for Evertrek, for example, they've been using that since 2018. All of the content we created is still there in their marketing machine. So even though they got their return on investment within the first year with every project we've done for them, they're still making money from it. So it's not a one-off thing, as with some other kind of marketing things you can do. These videos, they stay with you for years and years, and they can create a massive impact on your life. One final thing we show in the document as well, if I come to the next page, is just some next steps about kind of, how to think about your priorities, what particular pieces of content you should prioritize, etc. Again, this is going to be different depending on each sort of client, but also we like to give some examples of how maybe a campaign can work for an entire journey for a customer. So we took an example here as the community club journey, and just mapping out how that user experience could look as well. So not just the videos, but everything around it to make sure there's an understanding of how it fits into the bigger picture. So there we have it. That's the strategy document. So you've got 27 pages of really highly valuable information there, which you can take away and use to take your business, your charity, your community of interest company, or your social enterprise or anything like that to the next level, and really start filling those spaces that you've got for these amazing experiences that you're giving to people and the opportunities you're giving to people. Super valuable. Like I say, if you've got any questions, or you fancy working with me, feel free to reach out in any way you see fit. And I'd love to have a chat with you and see if we can help. So thanks very much for watching. Cheers.